To prove the Suona is the ultimate king of instruments, our guy pulls a crazy stunt right on a live broadcast. Right in front of millions of viewers, he sits on a coffin lid inside a haunted house and starts blasting the Suona, completely blowing the lid off, scaring the actors away and leaving the female guest paralyzed with fear. Even the viewers at home are shaking in their boots. But let us rewind a bit to the lottery drawing of this crazy variety show, where Zhou Jie teams up with the national goddess Bai Lu. Together, they pull the ultimate worst prize, spending the night in a real haunted house, making Bai Lu instantly roll her eyes in pure frustration. The chat goes absolutely wild. Viewers are screaming. Is the crew seriously making them do this? I can already picture her crying. Poor Bai Lu is definitely going to be traumatized. Fans even point out she posted on social media that she cannot even sleep with the lights off. The challenge is set at the infamous West Suburb Amusement Park, a legendary hotspot known to be a holy grail for extreme thrill seekers. By 11 p.m., the crew arrives at the creepy gates. A pale moon hangs in the sky, half hidden behind heavy, dark clouds. The second Bai Lu steps out, an icy wind makes her shiver. Seeing her tiptoeing around like a cartoon character, Zhou Jie cannot help but tease her. Hey, Bai Lu, don't tell me. You are already terrified before we even step inside? She instantly pulls up her collar and acts tough. Please, who is scared? She claims she is just cold, but she will not even step half an inch away from him. Meanwhile, the stream chat is already blowing up. One fan comments they almost peed their pants when they visited this place. Another agrees that the realism here is on a whole different level. Honestly, the eerie atmosphere is built different. Even through the phone screen, you can feel those absolute chills. There is a reason this place is crowned the king of scary spots. The attention to detail is actually insane. From the flickering lights to the creepy fog rolling over the ground, it feels like you just stepped straight into the underworld. Just as they pass the main gates, a ghostly figure in white suddenly leaps out of the darkness, and it is literally floating in midair. Wait, actually, the actor is just riding a skateboard underneath his robes. Talk about professional. Zhou Jie does not mind, but Bai Lu is completely losing her mind. Guided by this skating ghost, the two arrive at an ancient courtyard house draped in ominous red silk banners. The main gates have traditional wedding decorations plastered all over them. It looks like a celebration, but the massive red lanterns hanging outside give off an incredibly eerie glow. Suddenly, the heavy wooden doors creak open on their own, revealing a rundown yard choked with dead weeds. It smells like pure rot in there. Suddenly, ghost money gets whipped up by a cold gust, making Bai Lu stammer. Hey, Zhou Jie, can we please just go back? She is physically shaking at the entrance. Zhou Jie just blinks, giving her a smug look. Are you really that terrified? If you are that scared, we can just beg the staff to let us out. Who cares if the internet laughs at us forever? No way, I am not scared, she fumes, knowing he is just teasing. Her pride kicks in, and she storms right past him into the darkness. He just chuckles at her stubbornness. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the show director grabs his walkie-talkie. All right, team, the targets have entered. Everyone get to your positions and make it look real. The higher-ups promised a fat bonus if we scare them out of their minds. The actors are absolutely hyped. Normally, they only see these famous celebrities on TV, but now they get to jump scare them up close. Honestly, who would not want to terrify a national goddess for a bonus? Their motivation is off the charts. As the actors hide in the shadows, Zhou Jie and Bai Lu cross the yard and arrive right at the main lobby entrance. Right in the center of the room sits a massive, blood-red coffin. Zhou Jie grins. Well, this is getting interesting. It looks like a traditional ghost wedding theme. He realizes the song he prepared fits this exact dark vibe, making this the perfect stage. Red candles flicker, and ceremonial wine sits on the tables. The festive decorations make the blood-red coffin look 10 times more terrifying. Bai Lu practically glues herself to his back, terrified of being left alone out in the dark yard. She bites the bullet and steps inside. Over the radio, the director orders the crew to drop the room temperature to -5 degrees. Actor number 1 is told to prep the coffin jump scare, while the others get the paper sedan chair ready for their big entrance. Watching them on the monitors, the coordinator unleashes a wave of commands. Inside the cold room, Bai Lu whispers, "Hey, Zhou Jie, does it feel freezing in here?" To distract herself from the creeping dread, she points at his backpack and asks what is inside. He shrugs. Oh, just some musical instruments and a speaker. She blinks in confusion. Instruments? In a haunted house? She jokes that he is surprisingly prepared, suggesting he play something to keep them sane until sunrise. She is just trying to drown out the silence. All right, showtime, she says. Zhou Jie looks at her with a smirk. You sure about that? Seeing her excited look, he almost feels bad. The moment he pulls this instrument out, she is gonna lose her mind. She nods and finds a spot to sit. Zhou Jie chuckles. Hey, you asked for this, so do not regret it. He unzips his bag under her curious gaze. The very second he pulls out a shiny brass Suona, Bai Lu completely freezes in utter shock. Playing a funeral horn in a haunted house? This guy is built different. She stammers, is this seriously your instrument of choice? She instantly wants to bolt out the door while the entire live chat erupts in pure shock. Now, this is absolutely insane. Oh my god, playing a Suona in a funeral hall? Zhou Jie is built different. Look at Bai Lu, she is literally crying. Everyone in the chat and Bai Lu are completely dumbfounded. They expected a guitar or a violin, but then boom! The Suona was not on anyone's bingo card. On this version of Earth, this traditional instrument is extremely niche and forgotten. Modern crowds only care about pianos and guitars. You only ever hear a Suona at random countryside weddings or funerals. Seeing one on a big stage is rare, and masters who can actually play it are practically extinct. But playing a Suona inside a haunted house? That is actually crazy. It gives you instant goosebumps. Sudden footsteps echo outside the hall, making the quiet night feel even more eerie. Meanwhile, Zhou Jie just looks around, holding his Suona. He casually sits right on the coffin in the center. He tells them he is starting with a song called Joy. Instantly, a freezing gust of wind slams the doors open. The sudden chill makes Bai Lu shrink back in fear. She looks out into the courtyard where heavy fog rolls in and shadows flicker. Suddenly, a strange sound starts playing. A creepy, hollow melody drifts into the hall. The next second, Bai Lu's eyes shoot wide open in pure shock. Through the thick fog, two figures carrying a traditional bridal sedan creepily fade in and out. The vibe is absolutely terrifying. That's when Zhou Jie hits play on his backing track. Sitting on the coffin with a creepy smirk, he raises his microphone. Some days about all the tears that called your name. There is a hotel, it is a year, and some do not see. Searching down, you never quit. Who is, so they cannot? Somebody. Who is sure that you are just an answer, ginger motion, a savage? You are an angel, like bitter. My vision changed your general child. Shut my phone, shut up when you shut your love. His haunting, ethereal vocals mixed with those creepy shadows instantly give everyone goosebumps. The chat is literally shivering right now. People are asking what kind of underworld singing this is because it sounds incredibly eerie. It has this haunting opera vibe that blends with the room perfectly. It is spooky, but so exciting. Nobody in the chat has ever heard anything this creepy. The melody floats around like a ghost light. Bai Lu holds her breath. She curls up in the corner, staring at Zhou Jie on the coffin, too terrified to move a muscle. The lyrics describe a bride getting ready, but Zhou Jie sings it with a funeral tune. It turns a happy event completely tragic. Right then. A dim light flickers on in the dark side room. Through the window, you can make out a shape. A woman is brushing her hair, sighing deeply as she recites traditional wedding vows about growing old together. She brushes her hair before the mirror, singing the wedding chant. Even though the viewers know she is an actress, their spines are still tingling. Honestly, the horror house staff timed this perfectly to match Zhou Jie's eerie song. The bridal sedan stops outside. The two carriers walk right up to the bride's room, and the door creaks open. The bride emerges in a bright red wedding gown. A spotlight hits her as she slowly spins around. Bai Lu screams, covering her mouth in terror. The bride's makeup is gorgeous, but her face is deathly pale. Blood literally drips from her eyelids. When the chat sees this makeup, everyone completely loses their minds. Viewers are sweating in fear, saying their hearts literally stopped. This makeup is way too realistic. It is wilder than any horror movie. A gong rings out, the fog thickens, and firecrackers start exploding. The carriers take the bride back into the deep mist. Suddenly, Zhou Jie's singing speeds up, racing alongside the intense beat. Eerie images flash in everyone's minds. Bai Lu frowns, feeling this strange, heavy sensation in her chest. An unbearable sadness builds up inside her, heavy and suffocating. Even the actor hiding inside the coffin feels this exact same dread. The actor wants to jump out and scare Zhou Jie, but right as he prepares his jump scare, something insane happens on screen. A piercing, mournful Suona blast suddenly tears through the dark night. Oh my god.
Do not come back. Do not be so nice.
The powerful Suona sound literally pierces their souls. All that built-up dread and anxiety finally explodes in this single intense moment. The chat goes absolutely wild. In the shadows, a staff member collapses, drenched in cold sweat. Several terrified staff members burst out of the darkroom, literally sweating from sheer panic. Bai Lu is completely speechless, but suddenly, the very coffin Zhou Jie is sitting on starts shaking. The moment he stands up, the lid flies open and a staff member dressed as a ghost jumps out. This guy literally starts crying, screams that he quits, and bolts. The stream chat is losing its mind.
Zhou Jie just shakes his head at the fleeing staff. Like, is this really the scariest haunted house in town?
Honestly, it is kinda mid. Now that the fear has worn off, Bai Lu rolls her eyes at him. She is like, you really have the nerve to say that when your Suona playing literally traumatized them? The chat is totally feeling bad for the poor workers. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city,
Another contestant, Chen Yu, is driving a taxi and bragging about making 60 yuan on a single trip.
He proudly tells the camera that 10 trips a day easily makes him 600 yuan.
Then he starts giving some unsolicited advice, saying people should stop complaining about their low incomes. He says it is just lack of effort, suggesting they rent out spare houses or drive after work. Bro is out here claiming anyone can easily make over 10,000 a month. Chat is absolutely stunned. Fans are roasting him, saying if they actually had spare houses, they wouldn't be complaining in the first place. Some comments pop up telling everyone to skip his nonsense and watch Zhou Jie instead. Seriously, who wouldn't immediately switch over to see someone play a literal funeral song in a haunted house? Viewers immediately start migrating, and this same hype is spreading to other celebrity streams as well. Fans spam the comments everywhere, and suddenly, Zhou Jie and Bai Lu's stream is absolutely blowing up. Within minutes, their viewer count hits millions. The show's crew instantly notices this massive, insane spike in data. They rush to tell the director, Wang, who is completely stunned. Talk about an unexpected twist. See, he thought Chen Yu's group would easily dominate, since that guy is literally a music industry giant. Sure, Bai Lu is a rising star, but she still shouldn't have outshined Chen Yu. And as for Zhou Jie, Wang had zero expectations for him, just some pretty boy pushed by his agency.
Like, besides his face, there was nothing memorable. Wang figured any hype would just be from Bai Lu.
Since she's super down to earth, some hype makes sense, but the staff quickly corrects him. It's not Bai Lu carrying the stream, it is actually Zhou Jie. Wang is totally speechless. He pulls up the stream. Seriously? Who knew this pretty boy could actually play? Chat is absolutely raving about him, saying his god-tier Suona playing literally gave them goosebumps. The best part? He literally scared off the entire haunted house staff. That's some peak under-the-world energy. Now the director is hyped, demanding his team pull up the replay of the performance immediately. A funeral song scaring actors to tears? The entertainment value is off the charts. Just reading the chat is crazy, but after watching the clip, Wang is completely sold. He is absolutely convinced that both this show and Zhou Jie are about to blow up. Meanwhile, inside the haunted house, Zhou Jie gets a system notification. He has hit 100,000 negative energy. He is shocked at how fast he got it. But hey, this is a major broadcast after all. It makes total sense given the massive audience. Without wasting any time, he initiates the lucky draw. The system flashes and boom, he lands the Feng Shui Master skill and a 1,000-year compass. Okay, Feng Shui Master? That sounds low-key fantasy, and he's honestly pretty confused at first. But reading the details, he realizes it isn't some magic spell. It is actually a structured natural science. Basically, it packages real-world natural laws with super mysterious terminology to sound incredibly deep. To put it simply, it is just the ultimate tool for bluffing people. Bai Lu admits she didn't expect him to actually know how to play the Suona. Zhou Jie just hits her with a casual, "Oh, I only know a little bit," making her roll her eyes. She can tell it was easily professional level, and honestly, she has never heard that song before. She gets curious, wondering why a pretty boy like him would even learn this old-school instrument. Let's face it, a pretty boy idol playing the Suona is a total mismatch. Most people connect this instrument to noisy rural weddings and funerals. He just shrugs. Of course she has never heard it, because he wrote it himself. He doesn't even blush. Why not call it original when he transmigrated to Blue Star? The original author is literally in another universe. No shot they're crossing worlds to sue him. Bai Lu is stunned, asking how he secretly became a composing genius. Aren't idols supposed to just look pretty? He smirked. There is a lot she hasn't heard of, like several massive Earth classics. He rattles off famous funeral tracks from Earth. Our main character is basically playing a cheat code since they do not exist here. Bai Lu is speechless, resisting the urge to scream. Why is this idol writing such weird stuff? Why can't he just write normal pop hits? Even the chat is losing it over these spooky, underworld song titles. They are questioning if Zhou Jie is an idol or a secret funeral master. Meanwhile, over at Star Entertainment, legendary agent Du Lin sighs and asks her assistant for coffee. Her life looks glamorous, but she is constantly stressed. Their top star is about to drop a major album, and managing everything is driving her crazy. She's running on fumes when Zhao Liu finally brings her coffee. She takes a sip, trying to clear her head. Suddenly, she frowns. Zhao Liu, wasn't Zhou Jie supposed to be filming that Star Challenge show this week? She had almost completely forgotten about the rookie under her wing until this exact moment. Xiao Yu mentions the stream is already live. Du Lin admits she's been too busy, asking how the kid is doing. Honestly, since she manages elite stars, a small rookie like him wasn't even on her radar. The assistant looks incredibly awkward and stammers out that things are okay. Du Lin immediately frowns. Sensing trouble, she demands to know what happened. Xiao Yu hesitates. It's hard to explain. Scared by her dark expression, he weakly suggests she just open the live stream and see for herself. Du Lin waves him out and clicks the stream. Meanwhile, back at the show, Bai Lu is pleading with Zhou Jie. She asks if he has any normal songs, joking that he's trying to send their fans to the afterlife. Zhou Jie plays along, acting a bit hesitant. Bai Lu gets excited and urges him to show her. All right, he says, raising the instrument. The next second, the Suona rings out with incredible force. But wait, this melody is absolutely wild. It's so goofy and addictive that the entire chat starts cracking up. It's extremely playful and hilarious. Viewers are literally laughing out loud, completely hooked on this festive beat. It sounds like a happy drunk walking down the street. It is just pure, unadulterated comedy. Back in the office, Du Lin stares in absolute shock as Zhou Jie happily sways and plays. Is he seriously blowing a Suona? She almost knocks over her coffee in pure rage. An idol playing a funeral instrument? Why doesn't he just fly to heaven? She spent massive effort building his cute smart boy brand when he first debuted. She dumped crazy resources into him, and the second she looks away, he completely destroys it on a live broadcast. Playing a goofy, unprofessional Suona tune is total brand suicide. If you were standing in front of her right now, she'd tear him to shreds. But as she glares at the screen, she notices the chat's reaction is actually insane. They are all crying, laughing. People are calling Zhou Jie a literal genius for making the Suona sound so joyful. One viewer says they played it out loud on the subway, and now everyone thinks they are crazy. They need this track on loop. Even inside the spooky, haunted house, Bai Lu is completely caught up in the vibe. Her brain is fully brainwashed by Zhou Jie's performance. The goofy melody is just looping in her head. She eagerly asks for the title, and he gives her a mischievous grin before slowly dropping the name. The second he says it, her smile freezes. Zhu Jie carries his wife? Wait, who is the wife here?
She glares at him, blushing and embarrassed. If he didn't look so deadpan, she'd absolutely believe he was messing with her.
The stream chat is absolutely dying, calling him out for teasing her. Is he low-key flirting with her right now?
Honestly, after hearing so many boring, depressing love songs, this goofy, upbeat tune is actually extremely refreshing to the viewers.
Dulin watches him and falls into deep thought. She might just be an agent, but she knows talent when she sees it. Without years of hard work, there is absolutely no way he could play the Suona with this level of playful energy. In Chinese music, the Suona isn't called the king of instruments for nothing. This thing is built different. The instrument itself is simple enough for anyone to blow into, but mastering it, that is a whole different story. Honestly, playing the Suona this well and nailing the emotional vibes like Zhou Jie is insanely hard. It takes years of grind. His manager Du Ling is low-key annoyed he never mentioned this hidden talent. If she knew he was a Suona god, she would have never pushed that boring, obedient student image on him. Once this episode drops, his generic pretty boy image is absolutely cooked, since no idol ever plays the Suona. But Du Ling realizes this might actually be a massive win, because the pretty boy trope was just a desperate backup plan. If he is actually built different with the Suona, they can easily brand him as a folk music prodigy. She needs to make sure he is legit first. She immediately calls a contact, Pei Chuyu, to track down a pro. Du Ling asks for the number of that master Suona player who helped record Pei Chuyu's last track. She grabs the contact for Wang Aiming, a legendary titan in the prestigious Wuhai Folk Orchestra. Their lead Suona player, Wang Aiming, is a total legend. Having him judge your skills is as authoritative as it gets. Soon, Pei Chuyu sends over the number. Du Ling sits up straight as she dials. Hello, Teacher Wang. I am Du Ling. We met at Chuyu's recording studio recently. I actually have a small favor to ask about one of my talents. He played the Suona on a show, and I was hoping you could listen and give an honest opinion of his skills. Sure, send it over and I will take a listen. Awesome! Teacher Wang, I will send the video right away. Du Ling is the absolute queen of managers for a reason. Old school masters are usually pretty hard to deal with, but she plays it perfectly and leaves a great impression. She immediately fires over the clip right after hanging up. Over at his apartment, old Wang Aiming yells out for his granddaughter Jia to help him open the video. Smartphones are basically a foreign language to him. Luckily, his 16-year-old granddaughter is there to help.
She taps the screen a few times, and the video starts playing. Wait, isn't this my favorite idol, Zhou Jie?
As soon as his handsome face pops up, Wang Jia is completely shocked. How is she getting tea on her own idol? Seeing her reaction, Wang Aiming is quite surprised. Jia? You actually know this kid? Yes, Grandpa, I told you about him. She excitedly brags about him, but Wang Aiming just frowns as he listens to the details. To him, this kid is just another talentless pretty boy riding on his good looks. Old artists naturally despise that stuff. If he did not owe Du Ling a favor, he wouldn't even give this clip a single second. But then, a brilliant Suona tune rings out, and his eyes instantly light up. His trained ears detect an incredibly playful tone. It is deeply festive and incredibly lively. The master thinks to himself, wow, this kid has got some serious skill. The composition is also pure genius. You cannot write something this perfect without having a master-level understanding of the instrument. Wang Aiming starts with a smile, but as the song progresses, his face turns dead serious. This is where the difference between a casual fan and a real legend shows. He hears true genius in there. In his book, young players who can match Zhou Jie can be counted on one single hand. It is that rare. The clip ends. He wants more. He turns to his granddaughter. Was his name Zhou Jie? Yes, she nods proudly. She has followed many idols, but her grandpa never cared before. So how is his playing, Grandpa? Pretty good. He says he is easily top tier among the younger generation, which blows Jia away because her grandpa is rarely impressed. In fact, the old man almost never praises anyone. Hearing him say that is basically a historical moment. But I knew my idol was built different. An hour later, Du Ling finally decides to call him back for feedback. Hello, Teacher Wang. Sorry to call so late. Did you get a chance to watch Zhou Jie? He answers excitedly. Oh, I watched it. Highly professional and full of soul. Finding a youth who genuinely loves the Suona like this is a miracle. His brief praise leaves Dueling thrilled. Now, she can officially launch his new brand as a genius musician. This is going to change everything. She almost missed out on this gold mine. Meanwhile, over at the Haunted House Challenge, Bai Lu is getting sleepy. She yawns, realizing all their scary prep was completely wasted. Before sleeping in the tent, she thanks our guy. The actors playing the ghosts were literally too terrified to show up. Talk about absolute peak final boss energy. Bai Lu basically won by doing absolutely nothing. Fans expected a scary showdown, but they just speedran the whole thing. Honestly, it is almost a bit too easy. Meanwhile, Chen Yu's stream is wrapping up after an effortless day. Chen Yu sits there counting his earnings, bragging about making over 200 yuan in just 2 or 3 hours. His loyal fans are totally eating it up, hyping him up as the absolute best who could succeed at anything. They praise his hard work, completely ignoring that most normal viewers already left the stream because they could not stand him. His cringe behavior drove everyone away, except his die-hard fans, but the second the cameras stop rolling, his fake smile instantly vanishes. Assistants swarm him with water and towels like he is some big shot. Honestly, the duality of this guy is actually crazy. Of course, the only thing he actually cares about is his traffic, so he immediately asks his manager about the trending searches. The manager confirms they paid to hype up a photo of him helping an old lady cross the street during his taxi shift. Chen Yu smirks with pride and pulls out his phone to admire his own face on Weibo, expecting pure praise. He finds the trend, but his mood instantly crashes when he sees people calling him out for putting on a fake show. Viewers mock him, saying he was supposed to be driving a taxi, not playing savior, and ask what happened to his passenger. They even point out he got an illegal parking ticket while the old lady already had her own family helping her. Though his fans quickly drown out the hate, Chen Yu is still fuming as he prepares to close the app. That is when he spots his rival, Zhou Jie, taking over the top 10 trending spots with crazy Suona ghost stories. Seeing his main competitor trending for an original song makes Chen Yu go completely pale. Talk about an absolute blow to his ego.
He refuses to let Zhou Jie steal his spotlight and clicks on the comments, but that only makes his blood boil even more.
Since he constantly pays for trends, he instantly recognizes that Zhou Jie is trending off pure talent, not fake paid promotions. Zhou Jie has massive engagement, with unique user locations proving it is all organic traffic. Meanwhile, Chen Yu is just getting clowned on. Netizens are raving about how entertaining Zhou Jie is, laughing about how Bai Lu essentially got a free win in the haunted house. He literally made the actors cry with a single song. Seeing all this praise makes Chen Yu absolutely lose his mind. He slams his phone shut, screaming at his team for letting Zhou Jie steal all his spotlight. Talk about a sore loser. He takes his anger out on his staff, but they secretly know Zhou Jie is just way more entertaining and down to earth. After all, you can control your own team, but you cannot force the public to like you. His anger makes zero sense. Of course, they keep these thoughts to themselves because at the end of the day, Chen Yu is still paying their salaries. While Chen Yu throws his tantrum, Star Challenge director Wang is thrilled, boasting that he knew Zhou Jie would be a hit. Having Zhou Jie take up 3 of the top 10 trends proves this episode is easily their best one yet. The final viewership data completely backs it up. The director immediately tells the editing team that nobody is going home tonight. They need to pull an all-nighter to focus the episode heavily on Zhou Jie and Bai Lu's screen time. Despite his team groaning, the director is smiling so much his cheeks hurt, knowing the television broadcast will pull even bigger numbers. With some professional post-production magic, this episode's final cut is going to absolutely dominate the ratings. He is confident it will smash records, and sponsors will soon be begging to throw money at them. Talk about a major win. By 7 a.m., the filming for Zhou Jie and Bai Lu finally wraps up for the day. On the ride back, Bai Lu is scrolling through her phone, complaining about how she somehow did absolutely nothing to win. Zhou Jie teases her that the netizens' comments were pretty accurate, earning himself a massive glare from her. Honestly, these two are hilarious. Having spent so much time together, he feels comfortable speaking casually with her, and she is surprisingly down to earth. She does not act like a diva at all. They banter the entire ride back, and she promises to carry him next time. Once they hit the city, she has to head off to another shoot, waving goodbye with a big smile. Zhou Jie wishes her luck, knowing he only got on this show because of his manager Du Ling's connections. He is not even sure if he will be invited back next week, but to his absolute surprise, director Wang is waiting for him. The director welcomes him warmly, instantly dropping the fact that he's actually close friends with Zhou Jie's manager, Du Ling. It is hilarious because the director originally did not even want him on the show, but now he is acting like his best friend. Zhou Jie plays along coolly, not holding any grudges about how quickly the director's attitude flipped. Talk about acting like a professional. He gets that the director has a show to run, and considering Zhou Jie's past reputation as a useless pretty boy, the cold shoulder made sense. But now that Zhou Jie has proved his worth, the director is desperate to lock him down for future episodes. Best of all, the director backs it up with a sweet deal, offering him a massive 2 million yuan per episode. For a rookie, that is literally top-tier money, but Zhou Jie is about to drop a massive condition first. He acts like he does not even care about the money, claiming he just loves the cozy vibe. He asks to sign, internally shocked by how easy star money is. Millions arrive so easily, explaining why everyone runs to variety shows. Honestly, director Wang is totally stunned. My guy is just way too real, but luckily, they have the papers ready to go. He gets the contract, but before signing, Zhou Jie has to check in with his agent. He knows exposure is key right now, especially on a massive show like Star Challenge. He immediately agrees. Hanging up, Du Lin smiles. He knows he just struck gold with Zhou Jie's insane potential. Zhou Jie and Wang share a smile, sign the papers, and just like that, everyone is happy. With the deal done, Zhou Jie immediately calls his mom to share some pretty big news. He tells her to buy that expensive opera costume she wanted because her son is officially making bank. His mom loves traditional opera, and with his new memories, he genuinely wants to be a good son. His mom is absolutely thrilled, shouting to his dad that their successful son is buying her an opera costume. She is incredibly happy, but she ultimately refuses. Spending over 10,000 yuan is just too painful. She tells him to save his money. She reminds him to thank Pei Chuyu for helping him get signed. Zhou Jie tells her not to worry. He hangs up, slightly exhausted by his mom's endless nagging, and heads straight to the recording studio. Honestly, his mom is totally right. His biggest benefactor is Mangxing Entertainment's top female star, Pei Chuyu. Without her, a top agent like Du Lin would have never even looked at him. They were childhood neighbors whose families were extremely close, even though they lost touch during middle school. Their mothers kept talking all these years, but Zhou Jie and Pei Chuyu had not met in a decade. She rose to fame in high school, quickly becoming a top diva after graduating from Music Academy. When he graduated, his mom wanted him to be a hometown teacher, but he wanted stardom. Somehow, his mom got word to Pei Chuyu about his dream, though he has no idea how. He was totally clueless until Pei Chuyu called him. Her influence made joining the company super easy. Being signed by a legendary agent like Du Lin instantly made all the other rookies super jealous. The original host was too proud to even call and thank her. Talk about ego. What a prideful kid, Zhou Jie thinks, shaking his head at the original owner's absolute stubbornness. The new Zhou Jie has zero shame. Time to cling to that golden thigh. He grabs a mountain of milk tea and snacks, then takes a taxi straight to the studio. As Pei Chuyu steps out, the entire staff erupts in applause while she politely thanks them. She feels bad for keeping them, but they insist that getting to hear her sing is a massive win. Just then, Zhou Jie walks in with the treats. Seeing him, Pei Chuyu beams with a stunning smile. Her smile literally lights up the room, leaving the staff wondering who this random guy could be. Even the company boss does not get this reaction. Zhou Jie smiles warmly. He greets her, noting that she looks far more elegant and mature than his childhood memories. With her gorgeous hair, stunning features, and incredible presence, he is low-key struggling to look away. She playfully flicks his forehead. This simple, sweet gesture instantly melts away 10 years of awkward silence. Zhou Jie grins, telling her she got way too gorgeous. She laughs, teasingly asking when he learned to sweet talk. The staff are now incredibly curious. She introduces him to everyone as Zhou Jie, her childhood neighbor from back in the day. She calls him her little brother, asking the staff to take good care of their new rookie. The staff immediately understand the assignment, welcoming Zhou Jie like he is one of their own. They tell him to ask for help anytime, completely respecting her word.
She then introduces him to Mr. Chen, the studio boss he needs to know for future songs.
Alright, so Pei Chu-yu starts introducing you to the real heavyweight here, Teacher Gan, the top producer in the country who is literally holding down her entire new album. Just looking at the crazy lineup in the studio, it is ridiculously obvious how insanely famous Pei Chu-yu has gotten lately. Every single person here is a straight-up legend in the industry, and they are all gathered here just to cook up her new album. But since time is ticking, the producer Gan Peisheng wants to strike while the iron is hot. He waits until you hand out the milk tea to everyone before pushing things along. He urges Pei Chu-yu to get in the booth, but before stepping in, she pulls a serious face and tells you, Zhou Jie, do not leave, we are grabbing lunch. Honestly, you had no plans of leaving anyway. This is the perfect chance to learn from these industry giants. The moment she enters the booth, everyone locks in.
They quickly forget you are even there, which is fine because you are playing the perfect quiet assistant, pouring tea and keeping out of the way. Gan Peisheng notices this.
He gives a barely noticeable nod of approval. After that, time literally flies, and by the time Pei Chu-yu steps out of the booth, it is already almost 2 in the afternoon. Thankfully, the results are absolutely fire, and the recording engineer is incredibly happy with how it turned out. With some basic post-processing, the track will be good to go. Pei Chu-yu looks apologetic and says, Zhou Jie, I am so sorry, but we have to eat boxed lunches today. It is too late to go out, so takeout is the only option, but you just smile and tell her it is completely fine, sister. I actually prefer eating boxed lunches with the team. It is a chance to learn from the best, and you genuinely mean it. These pros have been dominating the industry for over 15 years. Learning from them is a cheat code for experience. Suddenly, Gan Peisheng looks at you and asks, when did Xiao Zhou join the company? This completely catches Pei Chu-yu off guard.
She has worked with this legendary producer before and knows he has that typical genius pride. He almost never shows any interest in fresh rookies.
It is super obvious that while she was in the booth, you did something to impress him. Pei Chu-yu realizes you are completely different from the kid she remembered.
She smiles to herself. Honestly, they haven't seen each other in 10 years, so of course you would have changed.
You explain that you joined late last year, mostly because Sister Chu-yu backed you up. You are not even embarrassed to admit you got in through connections. Gan Peisheng just shrugs it off. In this industry, almost every single newcomer gets their foot in the door through connections. The real question is, can you actually survive and make a name for yourself once you are inside? He asks where you graduated from, and you say Puhai Music Academy, Modern Department. Immediately, his face drops. Talk about a classic elite snub. Puhai is a great school, but the Modern Music Department? Honestly, the school only created that department to milk money from students. The graduates usually just end up as talentless pretty boys, and to a true musical genius like Gan Peisheng, pretty boys are basically absolute trash. He immediately loses all interest in talking to you. You can totally see his disappointment, but you honestly do not care. Instead, you turn to Pei Chu-yu and mention that her new song has a really cool retro vibe, almost like it is blending in traditional opera. This immediately makes Gan Peisheng turn his head back. Pei Chu-yu is shocked that you picked up on it, but she is also super excited for you. She tells you it was actually the producer's idea, because he thinks modern pop songs are way too boring nowadays. He wanted to blend in traditional Chinese elements, but you throw out a wild idea. If we are doing this, why not go all the way? What if we use a traditional opera vocal style for this specific bridge? Gan Peisheng's eyes instantly light up, and he begins humming to test it. He is absolutely ecstatic. On this planet, nobody has ever combined traditional opera vocals with modern pop music. The concept literally does not exist yet.
The producer had the vague idea, but since he doesn't know much about traditional opera, he could never make it work. But you? You are a cheat code.
Before transmigrating, you heard countless viral hits on Earth that perfectly blended traditional vocals with pop beats. You know exactly what works.
Sure, some were terrible, but the actual masterpieces, absolutely legendary.